Okay, right, yeah, so for this live stream, uh, basically just are going to um, like crawl an ODU CS department website with Browsertrix, and then after that, going to replay it with replay web page. And yeah, so first, basically just need to use this command here. So this is basically Docker command that will uh, run Browsertrix command, like a crawl command. Um, yeah, so this command has some extra options here. So basically the output will be a WACZ file, which is web archive collection zip format type file. And basically that file can be used to replay the archive web page. And yeah, also specify the URL. This text option here is can be used for indexing. And then the behaviors here are selected are basically just a pre-configured like actions that can be used while it's archiving each individual web page that's going to be included. So I have auto scroll, so it'll just scroll down the page and try to get more content. But also autoplay, which will try to play videos. If there's any videos on the website. Then we have a limit here, so I'll just set it to 20 because don't know how long it'll take to archive everything. But yeah, so you can set how many web pages basically you want to have archived, right? And then it has this options for screencasting, so that you can see basically what the browser is doing while it's archiving the web page. And yeah, so you just have to specify the port number, like here, but also up here for the Docker command as well, for which port you're going to use. Then last thing is specifying the collection name here, and those are basically most of the extra options here. The rest of it is just certain things like specifying the path for basically which folder is going to be used on a local computer versus Docker. And then lastly, this part here is just running the Browsertrix crawler. But yeah. Okay, so now we can run it. I basically use the same link here, for this URL option, right? So now we can just see how it looks. Okay, so now it's started. So if we go to that, localhost for that port number that we specified, then it'll show basically what's currently doing on that web page. And yeah, so here's just specifying some information about the crawl. You can also specify like multiple workers so that it can crawl everything faster. Yeah, specify the progress, number remaining, things like that. Alright, yeah, so now I'll just make this browser full screen so we can see more closely what it's doing when it's archiving the pages. seem like one of the URLs timed out. Alright, yeah, so it's almost finished. It just has like about like 1 or 2 left. Okay, so like it finished, and yeah, like it could have had some other timeout issues. So maybe we could visit one of the sites, see. Because one thing I didn't do for this command is set the user agent or things like that. So could have potentially been an issue for this. Well, we noticed that this part didn't show up in the okay, let's see. I think this is a different. Yeah, so this is the same web page here. Yeah, so this part didn't load. So that might have been the problem there. Or, yeah. Okay. Alright. So now since it's finished, we can use the WCZ file to see the archive version of the web page. Right, so we just go to replay web.page. Then from here we could just upload the WCZ file. So yeah, so when running the command, like it specifies the crawls. See if we can find it here. But yeah, so this crawls directory here. Yes, that's currently was showing up here. And then within that, it has collections, so it'll show all the collections currently have. So the one just created was the ODUCS one. And then from here, it has a WCZ file. So the main one that was, I guess, generated. And the archive section also has other WCZ files as well, but it's compressed here. But yeah. Okay, so now we can open this file and then select enter or click load here. And then from here we can see that we're using replay web page, and we can select the original website that was used. Okay, so you're able to interact with the page. And since I had autoplay selected, it might also play video as well, but not sure this one. Okay, yeah, so it didn't go and get that video there. All right. Okay. Yeah, so if we try to select on a link that it, is going to say is not archived. And this is kind of similar to, I guess, if like there's also an extension version of this. Well, it's similar. It's not exactly the same. But archive web page. So if you don't, so if it doesn't, so if someone doesn't navigate to a certain web page, it won't actually archive that content. So some of the links here won't work, or probably most of them. Since I only forced it to have 20 web pages, right? It won't have most of the web pages here, or the web page associated with the hyperlinks. But okay, so one thing we could do to see the other web pages that were archived in here, we can look at these extra links here and basically search for them. So if we go search here or enter it in here, it'll basically show that web page that was archived. Right, and we can check some other ones out. Let's see, there's this one here. Okay, so let's see if this video works.
I want to be appreciated for who I am.
Okay. yeah, so I was able to play this one.
To find myself.
To feel challenged.
Inspired by my surroundings. Encouraged
Yeah,
by
so
my
since I
faculties.
selected
Find a place where I can innovate.
to use
Bold. Try
the
things my
autoplay,
way.
that's why I was able to
Develop
get
my
that
own
video,
passions.
Create my own
because it's a
traditions.
behavior that will
Be the game changer.
try to get the
ODU
resources for the video,
Your future
basically get the
success
video content.
begins here.
Yeah, so alright, let's try another one out. And okay, and yeah, so I was able to successfully archive all the web pages, but there were a few resources that weren't successfully archived because of the timeout issues. But so basically for this video we just used a Browsertrix crawler to create the WCZ file, basically just to archive the web page, to specify with this URL. Then after getting the WCZ file, we then basically went to replay web page to upload the WCZ file so that we can see the archive version of the web page. And yeah. Right. Okay, and then another thing to mention, if someone doesn't want to use commands to necessarily do this, they can also download the it's the archive web page extension, and then from there you can just I guess I quickly show how that's like. So basically you just start it, and you can use with autopilot, which basically scrolls down the page, and do some other behaviors as well depending on the website. Okay. Yeah, and basically once it's done, archiving the web page, you can, go to multiple web pages that you want, so you can include all those archive web pages in the collection. And basically, also interact with different elements on the page so that you can ensure that it will, get the content, all the content that you want. But yeah, so when you're done, just stop and then go to view recorded page. And then from there, it's basically similar to the steps we did earlier for using Browsertrix with replay web page. Except this time, we just use a browser extension to archive the web page, and then also to, in this case, replay it as well here. But yeah, so it's just another way if you didn't want to use a command for the command line to archive the web page and to replay it. Alright, yeah, so it's basically